the photo exhibition for us, is sick, so he won't be able to speak here tonight, which is a shame. But I think the story he's telling and his words will speak for him as well. And I think we're very, very grateful to him as what we were told. I will now invite our very own Sahar Fanin, our filmmaker, to come and speak about her film.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Sahar Fanin and I'm the filmmaker behind Women Rising, which is the film in that background you get a chance to watch it afterwards. Just a bit of background about me. I am a Canadian Iranian. I was born in Toronto, Canada, to Iranian parents. My parents were both documentary filmmakers in Iran before the revolution, and they were working for the national TV station. So they would tell stories about artists, about women in rural areas, and their contribution to society. And then the revolution happened, and the Islamic Republic came into power. My dad was fired from the TV station because he was Baha'i. And for those of you that don't know, Baha'is were and still are heavily persecuted in Iran because of their religion. My mom, being a female director, also got a lot of pushback because of the stories she told, focusing on women, because of the way she dressed. They tried to control the content of what she produced, and they didn't recognize her marriage to my dad because she's Baha'i. So my mom obviously tried to speak out quite a bit, but like many Iranians, both my parents had to leave. So they immigrated and came to Canada to start over. I'm sharing this story because I think for me, hearing my parents' stories and those of many Iranians who experienced systemic oppression because of the regime and had to leave after the revolution, it's very much informed why I care deeply about human rights, gender equality, and social justice, particularly in Iran. I also very much grew up a huge film.
Your energy is just coming out.
Yeah. I very much also grew up with a huge love for film, probably because of my parents and the stories that they told. They exposed me to documentaries, to Iranian New Wave from a very young age. And I think probably pretty early on I could feel kind of the power and the impacts that film can have in people's lives. So I decided to do my undergraduate degree in film studies at the University of Toronto. But I continued to kind of engage in activism, always attending protests and things, very much cared about human rights issues. And then I later went on to do my master's in public health because I kind of wanted to engage in the field of social change. So I guess in my master's and my work subsequently, I've always tried to kind of bring together my love for arts and film with my love of social justice and wanting to change. I guess fast forward, moved to New Zealand, I've been here for 5 years. And last year I took a film production course at Massey. And while that happened, everything in Iran kicked off. As you heard, Mahsa Amini was killed by the morality police. And the response in Iran was unprecedented. People were taking to the streets, women fighting out. And it was happening in Iran, but it was also happening globally. All of a sudden, the world, everyone was kind of protesting out in the street, yelling, "Women like freedom." And I felt that this is a moment in time that we should document. It's a moment in history that we should be documenting. I also felt like all of a sudden the world is paying attention to Iran, paying attention to the issue, even though women have been fighting for their right, for basic human rights for the last 50 years. So what happened to Mahsa Amini didn't happen in isolation. So I thought this is a really important opportunity to kind of shed light on an issue, a really, really important issue. And we need to be telling more stories about Iranian women, about the struggles that they face, but also their defiance in the face of oppression. So I approached Hannah who's also unfortunately not here with us tonight, but who's really the star of the film. And I asked if she'd be willing to share her story, and she is one of the key activists behind bringing the women freedom movement to Wellington in New Zealand. I asked if she'd be willing to share her story about her struggles growing up as a girl, as a woman in Iran, and ultimately her decision to leave, and the ways that she fought back. And I thought this is also really important because many Iranian women and many in the Iranian diaspora can relate to this story. So yeah, I'm really grateful to Hannah for trusting me to tell her story, because this documentary, which is my first, and I'm really excited that it's showing here tonight as part of the exhibition. Yeah, and I guess I'm very grateful for all of you for being here, to the Iranian Solidarity Group and Joy Gallery for hosting us. Yeah, so enjoy your evening, and I'll be around after.
So how was it since day one, behind the camera, capturing everything, where everyone was crying and overwhelmed and trying to make sense of everything? You were literally always there, and we really think you appreciate that. Just something I really want to acknowledge, and I think we don't relate to here a lot of times, is all these people who are on these images, every single person who showed up to the protest, every person who supported the protest in any way, especially if they're Iranian, they're now in a blacklist. On top of already leaving their hometowns, they can't go home and feel safe. They can't go back to Iran and feel safe. So this is a real sacrifice that we're seeing, that they chose this movement, they've chosen this path for themselves, and we're really appreciative of that. So sorry, I'll just see what. Some other things we've got this evening for you. We'd like to show you a poster. Thank you, Ida. Would you like to come on in? Come on in. Don't be shy. Come on in. Nice and close, thank you. Thank you, Ida. So this poster, which is, again, here, a huge part of this movement. Her hair turning into a vest was created for the very first protest. On the 24th of September, 2022, sorry, hasn't happened yet. First protest, right about the fountain, right here. And now this poster is going to be going to Te Papa as part of the Asian New Zealand Ministry. And we're going to ask you to sign the poster and be part of the history.
So should we tell them what happened to the signature?
Yes, go. Yeah.
So because we didn't use permanent markers on the day, all the signatures faded off. So we need your help to fill this up again. We need to go to the pop-up. So I'll just leave it in that.
It was there on the first one, I promise. Sarah's got videos of it, I'm sure. People did sign it, we're not lying. That would be great.
Some pens here. And I am told it says, well, I'm reading it now, it says, on the pens, it says water and fade proof.
Nice. Yeah.